Business process modeling is a proven technique to help system analysts to capture requirements for IT systems. Without questions, Agile development methodology is the hottest software development methodology today. This video is going to show the effective way to integrate the business process modeling into Agile development. Let's outline the steps from business process to Agile. First, assume we captured the end-user workflow by using BPMN's business process diagram. We will transit the tasks that need to develop features to support into use cases. Based on each use case, system analysts need to work with the end user to discover the requirements and record the requirements using user story. The next step, decide which set of user stories to develop first and add these user stories into a sprint. Once the sprints kick off, the system analyst or the developer will meet with the corresponding end user to detail the user story. For the features that have a user interface, analyst or developer can sketch the user interface using a wireframe. Okay, now let's take a closer look. Assume we have a correct business process diagram as a starting point. I use this simple example to illustrate the idea, but the same principle can apply to a complicated business process diagram too. This business process starting by customer place order, and then the warehouse will check the stock level. If there is enough stock, the warehouse will pack items and then arrange delivery. Finally, the logistics department will ship the order. In case there is not enough stock, the customer service representative will arrange late delivery with customer. The first step is we will transit the business process diagram into the use case diagram. The tasks that the end user wants your system to help will be transit into a use cases. In our example, only the place order, check stock level, and arrange delivery tasks need our system to address. You may have a question. Why not all tasks will become a use case? There are some tasks is manual tasks that your system cannot help. For example, the pack item task. The pool link in business process diagram representing who will perform the task. This pool or link will be transited into an actor in the use case diagram. In our example, the customer pool will become the customer actor, and the warehouse link will become the warehouse actor. In visual paradigm, the transit is not a one-off action. Visual paradigm will keep the trace between the tasks and use cases. You can always trace back from use case to the task to see the use cases belong to which business process of your company. Here is the use case diagram from business process diagram. The use case diagram shows two very important information for development team. First, what user want to do with our system. Each use case is representing one of the features that is important to user. Second, who is using the feature? The actor representing a user or a user group who will make use of the specific features. The next step is discover requirements with end user and put the user story into corresponding use case. In visual paradigm, you can switch to the use case tab. Then you will see the well-managed use case on the left-hand side list. You can put the user story into the selected use case. The user story at this stage is just a card with one sentence describing what the user wants to achieve. In visual paradigm, developer can also do an initial estimation of the user story. After we gather enough user story, we will move on to manage our team to deliver the user story to fulfill user needs. In visual paradigm, there is full-featured project management feature for you to manage your development in an agile way. Now you can switch to the sprint tab and add the user stories into sprint. The sprint is a time boxing mechanism that fixes the development time. What we can change is how many user stories we can add to the sprint based on the development team capacity. The development team and the end user need to work together to decide which set of user stories need to add to the sprint. In visual paradigm, we provide different perspectives to manage the sprint. There is a backlog wheel shows all user stories we need to deliver. You can freely rearrange the user story by drag and drop to reflect the priority. The members wheel shows the workload of each team members, and each link is representing one team member and the user story he or she involved in. The Kanban board wheel shows the progress of the sprint. You can freely drag and drop the user story in different status columns. After we decided the user story in the sprint, the development team can start developing the system. The developer will meet with the end user to discuss the requirements in detail. Here is the beauty of the Agile development. In traditional system development projects, the system analyst will capture all requirements upfront and assume the requirements are clear and fixed. In contrast, Agile development only captures the detail of the requirements when the development team needs it. There are various tools to help you to detail the requirements in the user story. I will brief them one by one. Conversation. The conversation is used to record all the discussions between the development team and the end user. We can also record our decisions and simple business logics in the Conversation tab in Visual Paradigm. The point is, the team is easily go back to take a look on what we have concluded. Confirmation. Confirmation is used to define the user story acceptance criteria. Each item we need to verify when the user story is completed will be put into the single checklist item, and you can optionally put the testing step for each item. Scenario. After the system analyst understands what the user wants, he or she can start deciding the system by writing operation procedure. As you can see, the scenario is not just record the steps. You can put the conditions or a looping operator to enrich your scenario. Storyboard. Storyboard is a tool for development team to craft the user experience of the system. We can sketch the user interface and put them into a flow to show user what the system will look like after the user story is finished. User can comment on the wireframe before the system really develops. Visual Paradigm supports all major platforms for sketching wireframe, including Android phone, website applications, iPad, desktop applications, Android tablet, and iPhone. Design. Developer also can add the design diagrams into the user story. Reference. You are free to add a reference document or website into the Reference tab for the team member, easy to access when they need the information. This video gave the basic idea of managed development from business process to Agile development. For more detail, please attend the Visual Paradigm free Agile development training in below link. Thank you very much.